Welcome back, folks. We are here with another episode of the podcast, number 34 in particular. And what a week we have had since last episode. I am Costa, joined by the ever so lovely Mr. Lee, Osiris, and of course, our vibing S9 vibe, Scott. How are you doing, buddy? Clearly, we are vibing the wave of what has been Pokopia, which has taken over the internet ever since release and completely made other affairs that we had, like Champions, a distant memory. So hopefully not for too long. How are you guys feeling, first off? And obviously, Pokopia, it's released and it's everywhere.
I have a bit of FOMO.
Fair. Okay, that's valid.
You go first, Scott.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, everyone's playing it. Again, obviously the parallels have been made to Animal Crossing. It reminds me of when Animal Crossing came out during COVID and everyone was playing Animal Crossing. Don't know how popular it is amongst like mainstream streamers and stuff, but I know all my friends into Pokemon have been playing it non-stop, along with the Fire Red and Leaf Green ports and stuff. So I can't really say too much because obviously I haven't played it myself, but it does look good, and it will probably be on my list to pick up when I eventually do get a Switch too. So yeah.
I think it'd be a wise decision as well because of all the reviews, and like we said, the internet's been absolutely popping off for it. Lee, you've been able to have a bit more of a mess around after you showed off those lovely little farms that you had set up. So give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I've sunk I don't know how many hours into it. I must be 50-60 hours into it so far. So I am addicted to it as well. It's amazing. I love it. I think it's completely different. I said it last week on the pod. It's a completely different game to what I've ever played before, so I didn't really know what to expect going into it. And it did take me a little while, I got to admit, to kind of get the feel for it. It felt, I don't know, I was not vibing with it to begin with, and it felt tough to get into. But then, I don't know, the repetition loops kind of kicked in, and I got through a good chunk of the early story, and it really started to kind of open up. And now, I can't put it down. Like I was joking with you guys before. I was like, I go to do a specific task, and then 4 hours later, I find myself in the middle of doing something else, and I'm like, I really need to get back to doing that other thing, and then I go back to do it, and I end up doing something else. It's like, it's the worst game for someone that's got a very bad attention span, because everything is just grabbing you from like 100 different directions. And I just feel like I'm going in these mad, endless loops where I'm like, oh, I've got this thing to do. I've got that thing. I want to, this would be cool to do. So I love it. But I can't really speak more of it. I'm just really enjoying it. And I think from the looks of it, the Pokemon fan base and wider fans that are new to the Pokemon kind of games are enjoying it as well. It's awesome. So looking forward to discovering more about it. Of course, it's still very early days with it, but really enjoying everything that I've played so far. And I feel like this is like, if you're hesitant about getting the Switch 2, I feel like this is a console selling game. Like I honestly feel like, Scott, if you're on the fence about it, I know last week you were saying you want to wait for the OLED or potentially a Switch 2 Pro, but this game is so good. I would be like kind of missing out, not kind of jumping on now, because it is so much fun. And the multiplayer aspect of it, I haven't even delved into that yet, and I'm like, okay, Costa, when are we doing this? When are we doing this, man? So there's just so much to the game. It's been designed, been made brilliantly. The story is great throughout. There's little Easter egg teasers in there as well throughout the story that you'll find out about, the Kanto lore and things like that, and what's actually happened with Kanto, because it's set in the future.
Sort of post-apocalyptic kind of style, right? Which is something very different for the Pokemon series to do in any of their games.
Oh yeah, completely. And I really like the idea that none of the Pokemon evolve as well, so you have to find each individual Pokemon and then they stay like that, which I think's brilliant.
Respect.
You know, yeah, it's
Genuinely.
really cool. So, yeah, it's just I can't speak highly enough of it, and it doesn't surprise me now that all of these reviews came out and they were so good. Like it makes complete sense after playing the games. And yeah, if anyone's hanging about, obviously look at some content that's out there and get a feel for it if you're still on the fence about it. But I think you'll have a great time with it. But yeah, what about yourself, Costa?
Myself, I mean, you've broken it down to an exceptional degree, but I'd probably say that the key thing about it is the core loop, like you touched on, Lee, because the fact that you're able to get lost in the source of just setting things up and like saying, oh, okay, I'm just going to go and do X or Y and all that stuff. And then you just start discovering their subset X and Y's to that X and Y. And you're like, oh, okay. So if I want to do a good job, I need to do this, or actually I need to go and get this resource or get this new Pokemon, or like, let's say go and get ores from like the Glimmets and stuff like that. And it leads you down a rabbit hole. And that's what the game design of this type of game is. It wants you to get lost down the rabbit hole, and it's succeeded on every single count because not only does it have just general good visuals as well as the overall sort of lore drop. You know, we're talking about the post-apocalyptic stuff and whatnot, but it's the fact that you've got characters, and why I think if Pokemon keep getting these kind of, let's say a sequel or like this series of games going, they're probably going to outsell Animal Crossing and stuff like that, only because you've got set characters that everyone has fallen in love with in their own sort of Pokemon journeys across the years, now in a whole different environment, literally, where you can sort of interact with them better on a more personable level. You feel like they're truly part of your team. And, you know, there are different aspects of being able to enjoy those kind of characters and the build-ups and the bonds that you're able to, you know, like go through, because you start seeing some more quirkiness in terms of different characteristics that come out from some of the Pokemon. They're like, they get grumpy at you, then they're, you know, like trying to appease to you because they're like, oh my God, Ditto, how have you been, my friend? And they're like sucking up or something. But like, my point is that you get to see all different aspects of these, which is like a beautiful thing, because the main importance is the world immersion. And that's what this game absolutely nails. And it makes you feel like, okay, you want to explore everything. And even if you've explored most things, there are always little golden nuggets, no pun intended, to be found in terms of experiences that you could, you know, just go through here that you can't normally go through in a mainline game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just looking there to see what the sales numbers of Animal Crossing were.
Oh, yeah.
Because Animal Crossing sold 47 million units. So
a couple. Not too many. Yeah.
But when you were saying that initially, I was like, I feel like this has got the potential to outsell every main series title for Pokemon games that there's ever been. I think this is this
old statement, that is.
I think
it is. But then again, I think there's a lot backing it, because of, obviously it's just released, but the fact that I think you mentioned, Lee, all of the physical, you know, air quotes, copies have already been sold out, right?
Yeah. I think it was it the US and the Canadian stores, Nintendo online stores sold out of the physical copies, which are the, you know, you get the cartridge, but it is a digital key card on there. But they've all sold out. So that's like, you know, that's nuts to think that that's happened, you know? Because I would imagine they've had a good supply of these games, you know, ready to go, expecting to sell, you know. You would have had over and above the amount that you would expect to sell. So for them to sell out of those, it's
obviously didn't expect it.
No.
How would they? Like, I mean, because and I think what I feel is this plays up to the kind of strategy that they've employed from an overarching sort of Pokemon idea, like post the Presents, where they had the Fire Red, Leaf Green release 1 week basically before Pokopia. because obviously it's Kanto based, right? So, oh, hey, here, you guys will have 1 week to rehash all of the lovely stuff, or, like get new client, or, new people to join in on the experience that haven't played Fire Red Leaf Green, blah, blah, blah. And then you're immediately shoving them into a cozy game genre that has so many, I'd say, like gripping gameplay loops, but the fact that you've got the lore drop as well, it's sort of like a compounding effect where you've had Fire Red Leaf Green hype around Pokemon go through the roof, to an extent, but then Pokopia comes out and it makes you discover that there's a couple more ceilings to go through, and it shoots you straight through them.
Yeah,
it's incredible. So like, it's actually worked from a marketing point of view very well.
Genius marketing, really. When you look at it now from like a step back, and you think, wow. After the dust settled, you think, wow, that's all, it's been perfectly planned, and it's worked out absolutely amazingly. So it's
have you guys met the Kyogre from Texas?
Wait, what? Did not know there was a Kyogre from Texas.
Kyogre from Texas.
Does it wear a hat?
The Kyogre with the original accent.
No.
Have you not met the Kyogre yet?
No, I haven't.
I've said too much.
You clearly know more than us, my friend.
I thought you guys had played. I thought you guys had played. I thought you guys would be up to that point by now.
I've met the Kyogre it's pretty early on in the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Apparently it has a regional accent, but because obviously in Japanese it translates well, but it doesn't translate well to English, so they just gave him basically like a Texas accent or an American accent.
I didn't even know.
He says things like y'all and things like that in his text.
In it, though.
There's no voice acting,
but
the
like dialogue.
The dialogue, the language that's used.
I honestly, that is just, I have to go back and see that, because I've just totally missed it. Yeah, it's pretty early on, the Kyogre, without giving any spoilers, but it's you're not too far into the game. I didn't even pick up on it. Now I'm like, I have to go and see this now.
I guess that's part of the beauty and charm of this game. They're always going to be like a bountiful amount of little quirks and quality, nice to have kind of quality of life stuff that you can find all around it, which is actually pretty endearing, to be honest. Yeah. Especially for like a cozy game, and that's kind of what you want to target, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently it's common from like a localization perspective. It can be quite hard to try and portray what they want in English from the Japanese version, so they often end up using like rather dramatized American accent, like the Texas one, I guess. That's right. Yeah,
I guess that's more
text, but
howdy, partners.
Yeah,
how you doing, fellow Pokemon?
My name is Kyogre.
With a Y, not a
Groudon, get down off that mountain, boy.
Hey, Groudon, what you doing there? Don't let me get Rayquaza on your butt. Which is totally not a Texas accent, so apologies to beautiful Texas viewers.
You Texans out there.
Let us know. Right now.
It's a great accent. It's a great accent. We love it. Okay, we love it.
I closed my eyes. I thought I was in America there for a second. So.
You thought you were with Kyogre, mate. That's it. You thought you were riding on a Kyogre's back.
With the hat. With the hat. That's not so good. But no, like talking about obviously just the hype and all that stuff, to confirm, because I've just checked as well. Best-selling titles for the week in the UK at retail at the moment, so obviously UK wise, Resident Evil Requiem, which I know had a lot of hype coming out, and Pokopia is second, straight after them. And
Resident Evil was on every console though, right?
I think it was a multi-platform release.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like across the board. So like every console sale counts for that, right?
On
yeah,
PC.
It should.
So
yeah, exactly. And PC, yeah, 100%.
That's quite
PC's
good then.
Gonna be the most.
Pokopia in second, you know.
Does it say the numbers?
No, it doesn't say numbers at the moment. I'm trying to look for more.
I think it'll be one of those where they'll come out with the numbers pretty sharpish because of how well it's sold, you know.
They want to brag about it.
Yeah.
Well, they do, because it creates more buzz, and it's like, oh, hey, well, why don't you want to get more involved? Here you go, more reasons. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but no numbers at the moment, from what I can see, just call outs. But no, yeah, there's a lot going for it. Even like I think there were cases where they're like rare Pokemon that you could find as well and recruit and stuff. So like there's all sorts of elements of different sort of gameplay stuff that you look for in terms of like just general Pokemon stuff. It's like, okay, well, of course you're gonna go and search for like rare Pokemon, but now you can do it in the aspect of you're still sort of treasure hunting in a way, but then you get to see them in a whole different light. So yeah, Pokopia is setting off, and I think at this point, you guys may have already mentioned it. It might even just outsell every other game, the Pokemon game.
I think this is the start of a very long journey with Pokopia.
But do you think how much, like, I know you said you sunk a lot of hours into it, but how many hours do you think you could, like, how much replayability does it have?
Jesus, I feel like I've done barely anything, mate.
Because apparently the island's like massive, like way larger than anything you would have got in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's what I've heard.
Huge.
So.
I mean, yeah, I'm comparing it to, like, because I've seen Tash and Thea play Animal Crossing, and I'm comparing, like, the size is not even comparable. Like, not, and I think it's a lot more engaging as well than Animal Crossing. Like, I watched them play a lot and they enjoyed it, but I never had the urge to like want to dive in and do it myself. Whereas I am playing this, I'm watching a lot of content as well. Like there's a lot of like Animal Cross content creators that obviously did a lot of like amazing builds in Animal Crossing that have now kind of just jumped on Pokopia, and they're doing the same thing. And I'm like, how are you building this like incredible building? Like, and I just like, and they do like a 40-minute video of just building this absolutely immaculate, like finished piece. And it's like, wow, this is nuts. So I'm like, yeah, I think the replayability, I don't think this is going away anytime soon. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger than it is now. I honestly feel like, you know, as a content creator, I think if you're not jumping on this now, you could miss the boat. And it's one of those things where you'll look back and say, I wish I jumped on it at the start or near the start, just to kind of catch that wave with it. Because I think this is like a new hybrid Animal Crossing Minecraft thing that's going to just carry on, because there's so much potential, not just in the generic building of your own world, but there's the multiplayer aspect of it as well. And then they've added things in to like make it fun. Like you've got, for anyone that doesn't want spoilers about abilities and stuff.
Yes, spoiler alert. Yes.
Just skip out this next 5 minutes of the video and you won't get spoiled.
I thought you were going to say this next 15 minutes.
No. It's not spoiling the story or anything, but obviously a Pokemon in there is Zoroark, and Zoroark has the transform ability. You get the ability to transform as well into any object. So you've got the idea of you get into a multiplayer with like, you know,
you can play prop on
players. You play like hide and seek, you know?
Yeah, that's a thing, because like, what's that been in? It's not only Fortnite. It's been
it's in
oh my god, what's the
name? Not TFT. What's
Call of Duty. Call of Duty, isn't it? It was one of the Call of Duties. They also had it there as well. I'm not sure if they were modded or something like that. They definitely had like a mode for it.
Yeah. But you've got the added like idea of like, okay, well, everyone's in my island and we play it here, and then you've got all your little like hiding places as well that you could like add into it. And
because you're trying to basically disguise yourself as just like an everyday object within the game, and see if the other person can catch you out or something like that. So I'd be so curious to see. So we're saying then that you can do this because you can choose to do this. And let's say if you hop in with another 3 people, you can all agree, okay, we're going to do prop hunt, stuff like that. Let's just go do it. We're going to do a session. Do you guys think that at some point there may be a patch, not a patch, but like a future update where they may actually try to lean into it and say, you know what, let's just give you some more tools to work with. And they give you, I don't know, like some form of countdown stuff or some sort of like leaderboard thing, or like
a game mode.
A game mode, like a dedicated, maybe not a dedicated game mode, but something closer to the point where it can allow you to take advantage of
I
it.
could see if it picked up enough, something like that probably would get like an update patch where they introduce it or something along those lines where they could, implement it as an actual mode. I feel like that sort of thing will be quite popular though with friends,
Oh,
It's easy
100%.
to jump in and then have one person like hunting and you've got like 15 minutes to find everyone else.
That's what I mean.
You know, it's quite fun.
Mate.
Yeah.
That is so like I think that's what multiplayer does, right? It just allows so much more room for additional content and just fun to be had.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they just keep it up. I am curious to see testing multiplayer, like how it is with the latency stuff, with any sort of weird interactions or if there are any bugs, but I haven't heard anything negative. So
yeah, and I think that's just like the tip of the iceberg as well, because you've got like the ability to jump on multiplayer and someone can bring a rare Pokemon with them and you can use items that you get in the game. Like if you can craft a star piece, then you can just take that Pokemon and register it in your Pokedex, and then you've got that Pokemon, so you don't have to struggle in your own game to find that one. So there's loads of little things that they've got already that I think is going to be really cool for the multiplayer aspect of it. And then it's hard to kind of say because it's so early on though. But I think the potential's there for it. And I think the interest feels like it's definitely there. So
100%. Right. Scott, then, have you been convinced, my friend, for the Switch 2 and hopping onto the Pokopia train for now? Like, how are you feeling?
I'm too stubborn to be convinced.
Well played.
No, to be honest, I won't get it. I'm not going to go buy a Switch for this game.
no.
Yeah, it seems fun, but I've always struggled with RPGs. Pokemon's normally been the exception to that rule. I don't know. I changed my mind. I'm not naive enough to say that I won't go do it, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about. Do you think it's appealing to people who aren't into Pokemon, or do you think it's sort of only ticks? I guess most people played a Pokemon game in their lifetimes anyway, so they kind of like I've said this many times before. Pokemon get you with the nostalgia. Doesn't matter how old you are. You played Pokemon. You had a Pokemon plushie at some point in your life. So I feel like you probably have some kind of association with Pokemon. Anyway, so I guess if you're interested in that type of game, you might look at it and go, "Well, I used to play Pokemon," or "I haven't played Pokemon in a while. Let's pick it up and see what it's like." So, I probably just got to answer my own question there, but yeah,
it's a valid point. Like,
and I think the Pokemon are like so much of like they're not like they're quite integral to the main story, but they're not integral to the repeatable loops that you've got after that. They're kind of like a side add-on to the whole game. So if you're a Pokemon fan, it just makes it even better because you're doing everything with Pokemon in Kanto. Whereas if you're not a huge Pokemon fan, I still think you would enjoy the game a lot, and then you might like grow to love Pokemon that little bit more because you're kind of around them a lot more, and they're very useful to have around to be able to make the game a lot more enjoyable.
They're not stupid. I think they probably come up with this idea thinking that it would tick all these boxes. They've got the research. They've probably done the focus groups. They know what they're doing.
Take advantage of your strengths, right?
Exactly. What you said earlier about the game mode, so I don't think they'll do that. I think a lot of the I just can't. Nintendo doesn't strike me as that type of person. I don't know what they did with Animal Crossing. I know they did do patch updates, but I think they were more seasonal updates rather than seasonal events rather than actual game changing like content or like additional content per se. I think if you look at gamers like Prop Hunt in other games, they're normally like they're mods that have been added into the game, and obviously you won't be able to mod this, so it will be down to Nintendo. So, I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong because I think it'd be obviously being a great thing to do if they kept up with it, and obviously if the money's there, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
They're probably just going to be focusing on the DLC stuff because, like, there's no way this game is not getting a DLC.
Well, that's what I'd be more inclined to say, a DLC rather than an actual update, because at this point it seems like the way they're going with updating games is for DLC. So.
Well, and also just to add to the whole sort of like rave and hype of the prices and stuff like that, or at least the amount of sales that have been, just skyrocketing with this game. Amazon US, because of the high demand, they upped the price by $10 for deliveries. So what was $69.99 is now $79.99 because it's one of the few retailers remaining with stock. So they're like, "Oh, hey, we noticed an opportunity, so let's do it."
Oh, that's so annoying.
But isn't it just a digital download link anyway?
Yeah.
Basically.
So why not just download it from the eShop? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was like, it'd be nice to have the box, but I mean...
But people are thinking Amazon Prime as well, maybe, or I don't know, whatever stuff.
Yeah, but you can download it instantly.
I know, I agree, but
that's faster than Amazon Prime, believe it or not.
Yeah, to be fair. No, but hey. Wait. Can you imagine? But weren't you the person saying you're more of a hard...
I am, but you're not. You're not getting a hard copy. You're getting a download link inside a box.
No, you're getting a cartridge.
Oh, you do get a cartridge.
You get you get
I didn't know that. Okay,
it's just a digital key card though. So
it's I mean, it's halfway there.
Yeah,
it's halfway. I mean, you hold it. So I mean, there's that element to it. Because I would have liked that. I would have liked to have had the physical cartridge, even though I know the game's not really on there. But because it's pretty much like in 30 years' time, that will be a useless bit of kit because you won't be able to download it anymore onto the console. So keeping that sealed is like
pointless.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
That it is. It is a shame, but like we said, it doesn't look like Pokopia is going anywhere anytime soon. So we're getting loads of new content coming out with it, whether through DLC or people just doing online stuff. But there's something that is more rare than the rare Pokemon that you're able to find and recruit in Pokemon Pokopia, and that is, where is Champions? Where is it?
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
We should have had what is it? The remember a few years ago where Delia Smith, when she was she'd bought Norwich and she got onto the field at half time.
Oh, don't
shouting to the where are you?
Yes, I think
we need a sound buzz of that.
We do. Let me make a note of that, just to make sure we can not forget that. But yeah, Delia, where is Champions? Because
where is it? Well, it's weird. We've had the first global challenge announced, so that's been announced.
It's
kind of weird.
Obviously, that is in May,
haven't we? Yeah.
That's in May.
It feels like
April.
A generational fumble from Nintendo. The marketing for this game has been atrocious. Like,
it's not been smooth, has it? And it definitely feels like it's been a rocky, bumpy road where, I mean, to me, I don't know if I said this last week, but it felt like when they said April, it's such a fumble because it's like you're still not sure and we're a month away from April now and you cannot give us an exact date. So you're still ironing out things that you could drop it at the start of April, but you're giving yourself the buffer just in case you're not ready. And it's like, this game should be ready now. Like we're so close to it, which I guess leads into like your worry, Scott, where you're like, I don't think this is a good, this game cannot come out and be used straight away at regionals. because there will be issues with it. And I like this sort of thing makes like total sense. It kind of backs up your whole sentiment with that, you know. But yeah, Costa, your question, where is Champions? I don't know, mate. We've not really had anything since, and I know it's only been a week, but you would think we'd have a bit more, like at least that trailer that we had in Japan and you know in Asia. We've not even had that over here yet, which is.
So I think that might actually be the intro cinematic, let's say, to the actual game itself.
The
so
game itself, yeah.
Yeah. So
but
I think
mean, it's not been
you're
put
right.
on any of the English like YouTube channels, has it?
No, it hasn't. And you know what else hasn't been put on any of the English, the website, the hub for it. That is the updates to the May Global Challenge initially, escorted with some other information that, you know, my Japanese isn't the best, but Google Translate is my best friend. And there's a lot more info to breaking down the Japanese nationals circuit and the tournament structure, as well as the details. Where
tell.
Last I checked, now they've changed it so there's not multiple global challenges. There's only one global challenge,
and that's their qualifier.
That is the qualifier. That is the first qualifier for the Japanese, but there is a caveat, and the caveat is the amount of people that can progress through. So let me just try to check my notes and stuff, because I remember I had it somewhere here. I think it was like the top 640 Japanese trainers can now get straight into the qualifier. So you need to be top 640 for if you're a Japanese player to be able to progress to the next stage.
That makes it a little better.
240 or 250 something, I think previously. I need to double check.
Yeah, it wasn't many. I don't even think 250. Probably it was like top 30 from each global challenge, wasn't it? I think got through.
Yeah, let me just.
And they had 4 of them, so it would have been like 120.
Yeah, I mean, but so sort of like there's a bit of a balance that they're trying to strike there, but that info wasn't as widely available initially, right? And there's some other little tidbits of info that are missing as well in terms of I think something to do with the tutors or the trainers, like the NPCs. They're going ahead and they're sort of like unveiling more info about these NPCs on the Japanese websites versus the English that just have not caught up. I don't know if they're on an extended holiday right now, and this is what we're experiencing, this huge delay, because the POCs, people of contact or interest or whatever, POIs, are just not present, like literally not present. They are on holiday because this doesn't make sense. Pokopia's already out. What is holding you back?
I've heard a theory that I mean, it's a pretty weak theory in my opinion, but like they're basically trying to work out how to tell people that the format's they're going to split the format in half for April. So
they've announced it runs till the 30th now.
I'll tell you how they could do it. They could do it through a message.
Yeah.
You know,
they could communicate with us.
It could help.
That would be too easy.
No, you're right.
They confirmed last week, didn't they? I think it was late last week that the regulation F is going to be extended until the 30th of March. Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there was a thing about
the 30th of March or April.
March. Sorry, 30th of April.
Okay, so that means that then there's no champions in Prague, then, or they're doing regulation F on champions.
Doesn't make sense. Champions in Prague.
Is that the theory?
No,
is that the truth? Is that what people were saying?
I think that was I don't know where the source was. I saw it posted last week.
We need a source link, Lee. You've just dropped a huge bloody hot can of worms on us, and we don't have no source.
I was under the impression that people still were not sure, because I'm in a big group.
Same here, Scott. Same here.
I still haven't booked my flights or accommodation for Prague, and I know a lot of people are getting angsty and.
Right, don't judge me for this, but
we're gonna judge you because you dropped a hot can of worms on us.
Yeah, well, I saw this tweet and I cancelled my registration for Prague. Yeah.
Oh my god, are you serious? Why didn't you update us? So like send us. Have you been able to find it? Are you still searching?
I'll have a look now for it.
I'm not.
So, like-
I don't judge you for that.
No. I don't judge either. I don't
If
judge
it's
either.
not on Champions, I'm cancelling my ticket as well.
No. That's fine. That's a valid concern.
If it's on Champions, I'm going to be gutted. And if this was
I'm worried right now that that was a spoof kind of post that wasn't legit, and Lee's gone ahead and cancelled his Prague now, and we still don't know. That's what my concern is right now.
Well, it's too late. He's already cancelled it, so it's irrelevant, really, isn't it? Unless he wants to try and buy back his ticket when they re-release a few that are spare.
Potentially. Honestly, mate, I did not catch drift of this, and I have been watching. I have got people that have been waiting as well, and I did not hear of this being officially confirmed about extension. I know that it's rumored. I know that people have been talking about it, but I don't know if it's confirmed.
I need to find it now. With that.
Oh my god, this has got me on the edge of my seat. Are you watching? I am on the edge of my seat.
You guys carry on talking about.
When I was speaking to some people on Friday, I'm sure it was Friday. Like I said, what I was trying to say was their theory was that Reg F was going to run basically halfway up through April, and then Champions would drop, and then it would go on to whatever mega format they're going to use in Champions.
The
and then,
MA or something like that.
Yeah. So they were just, the theory was that, they were trying to work out how to tell people they're splitting the format in half or whatever, but the month in half of the format. But I don't know. I saw some stuff on the UK subreddit saying that maybe Chris Brown's just sick and they haven't been able to make a decision.
Hey, that's what I said, mate. I didn't say specifically Chris, but
yeah,
I'm saying it feels like something's
weird, isn't it? It's very strange.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I don't know.
It's interesting. Yeah, because like at least I agree. I think it's gonna have to be split. The ideal way that I see it is you try to drop it ASAP 1st of April, or maybe the week after, 2 weeks after Seattle, I think. Seattle, right? And then, even though it's 2 weeks worth, let us grind for Champions Prague, or ideally 3 weeks.
Well, they come out and said that the global challenge in May is going to be on Champions, right?
Correct. They have confirmed that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
they might just say,
registration opens from the 23rd, apparently. So that implies
it would come out before then.
Exactly. It has to have come out before the 23rd, unless it comes out on the 23rd. I need to check which day that is, actually. It is 23rd is a Monday.
The Monday before, there's no way. There's no way. If it comes out on the 23rd, there's fucking no way. If they say, okay, yeah, Prague is on Champions, there's no way. I wouldn't even want to do it.
Sorry, I lie. I was looking at March.
17th?
I am now looking at April. The 23rd is a Thursday. Apologies.
Oh, so was I.
So was both of us. Cool. Good to know.
I still think that's one I predicted, right? I predicted I think you did. The week before.
You did say that.
It won't be the week after. It won't be the last week in April. It has to be before then.
So the week before Prague.
Yeah.
Because when's Prague? The 29th?
No, it's 25th. 25th. Yeah.
It could drop just before that weekend, but it can't drop after that in April.
That's what I mean.
Because it's Golden Week in Japan the following week, so they're not dropping anything then. I wouldn't have thought.
Sign-ups for Prague are still openly, just as a heads up. In case we do get champ.
You don't even get a full refund, which is annoying. So I've just lost like 20 quid for nothing. So I
thought you did if it's within a certain period of time.
No, it's a really bad system. Like I don't agree with a 20 quid administration fee.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I do not justify it at all. I cannot get behind it. I'm not the biggest fan of Arcanine Labs, but I think some of those decisions are very questionable. They're completely ripping players off, and they already pay enough. And there might be like justified reasons why a player can't go. Like I've had reasons in the past where I literally couldn't go for a family reason or
Yeah.
other reasons, and I'm sure many people have, but to get like stung by 20 quid, and the last time I had to last minute cancel, I get that it messes up the tournament if it's really close
Mm.
to the tournament starting, but it was still like 7 days out.
But surely
Right.
there's a cutoff time, right?
I didn't get
yeah.
I don't think I got anything back for that. So it was just like, it just feels bad, you know. I just think they put it down to administration costs, but I feel like there's administration costs and then there's just
It's a lot, isn't it?
robbery, you know.
Yeah. They did say, they're saying refunds are partially available up until 1 week before the event. That's what the statement is.
It's like, why do you pay an extra £1 admin fee when you book cinema tickets online? Like, where's the admin?
Yeah. It's a bit.
It's just a hidden tax.
Let's be honest.
I wouldn't mind £5. I would be like, fair enough. Someone's got to go in and like change things. Like like for the inconvenience of it, £5 is fine.
But a 20.
But 20 quid, yeah.
Hey, that feels real bad.
Yeah. It's a rip-off.
It's not very player pro, like pro player, should I say?
No, it's not at all.
Well, hopefully we can be done. We can be done with RK9 soon.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right? The whole. This is what I don't get. Like, you know, like if we look at Pokemon as a brand, it's very family friendly, very generally quite. It does things by the book most of the time. It wants to be seen as very family friendly, a nice brand, right? But then you have things like this under the surface where it just doesn't feel like it sits right with the brand when stuff like this is happening.
It's not synonymous.
No, I don't agree with it. But I mean, that's by the by. And I'm going down a rabbit hole like I normally do. We need to get back to champions. I can't find the tweet. I can't find it. I don't know where it was.
You've left us on the biggest
cliffhanger. I'm not been
cliffhanger.
sleeping well. I'm like, have I just dreamt it? But I definitely got an email that I cancelled Prague. So,
oh my god, you need to tell us. So we're gonna potentially leave a comment, or we'll leave it to next episode as a secret sort of teaser. Was it all part of Lee's fantastical dreams?
I specifically remember reading it and being like, I'm annoyed now. I'm like, because it was like, it was almost like an announcement post where it was like Prague will be played on Regulation F, and everything after that will then revert to champions.
Scott, I think I know what Lee's done.
See now.
So you know that X account, right? That
no, it wasn't that, mate.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm positive. I know the one you mean.
You know which one I mean.
Yeah,
the one that has one letter difference.
Yeah, I hope it's not that.
You hope it's not that. You just said you know it's not that. Those are two.
He's changing his story
statements.
now.
I can't sip us in.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go check. Because I bet you anybody it's that.
I'll tell you, if it was them, they owe me 20 quid.
Yeah, they do. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, like, so we're talking about theories around the date drops and the circuit structure and stuff like that. I guess, what would your definitive statement be now, your anticipated date? Starting with Scott, go. You said 23rd of April before.
I'm sticking with that.
Yep. 23rd April. In time for Prague or not? No. Since obviously you can't give 2 days, right?
Yeah. It's my theory.
Okay. All right. Lee.
I'm going to stick to the 7th to the 9th. So it'll be Tuesday or Thursday in the second week in April.
Okay. And so what does that mean then? That means Prague for champions or not?
I would think so, but according to that tweet, it wasn't. So
wait,
I don't think it will be.
As in you found the tweet?
No, he's saying what he thinks.
I don't think it will be.
Okay.
I want it to be. I just don't think it will be.
If it comes out in April, and I think regardless of whether there is an event on Prague or not, if it's not, I think it's gonna not cause a lot of uproar, but it's just gonna put a sour taste in everyone's mouth.
It's just everyone needs to know.
People just want to know.
Because we mentioned this last week, I think that the fact is, like, people have tournaments coming up that they want to prepare for.
Yep.
You need to give them a good amount of notice.
It's not
And I
fair.
know it's difficult
It's
because
not
the game
fair.
hasn't come out yet and they haven't given an exact date, which makes that decision even harder. But I think like some decisions need to be made, considering that people have bought registration, which costs a lot of money, booked flights, again costing additional money, and then you've got this massive prize on the line. You've also got like all the production staff, all of the staff that are working the event that need to be aware of this, because if it's going to be on a new game and a new rule set, they need to know so they can get up to speed with what's happening. The whole thing is not helping anyone involved in it, and it's like from top to bottom, and I can imagine it's a real stress for the people that are having to organize this. So I think that's like something I try and remind myself of, that it's not easy, and it's for everyone involved. But I think like situation is what it is. We need information. I think a decision's got to be made to kind of get information out to the player base, because there's a lot on the line, you know?
There is a lot, because like this is the big VGC boom we've been hyping up for the past couple of years. The moment that we're going to be able to make it accessible to the average fan or enjoyer, or
I think the fact that they were just like, oh, iOS is not until later in the year. No date still.
I think that'll be September. iOS and like Android and iOS.
I think it will. It will have to be with the new season when they figured out what they're gonna do in terms of the setup of what that translates into for what the event looks like. Are there going to be mobile phones everywhere? Are there not? What's the expectation of you bringing your own phone? Do you connect it to a certain thing? Does that have security concerns? Blah, blah, blah. All connected. Because if someone rocks up with their own and they have a virus or something like that, they get access to the intranet. You're screwed. The whole tournament, and it's all linked in one. So, you got to be serious on what.
But again, they've had time to think this through. So why?
Well, no, who's they though, Scott?
The Pokemon company, surely.
Well, so the thing is, they probably have different departments, right?
Yeah, well, there is different departments. You've got Japan, TPC. You've got TPC and then TPCI. TPCI are the ones that run the tournament, but they might not be directly given the information that's relevant. You know?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not an excuse. Like the size of the company, I don't care if they've got different departments, and I get what you're saying. Okay, they are kind of different companies within a company, but a conglomerate this big with this amount of money, they should have their shit together. You know, they screwed up Scarlet and Violet. You know, that was abysmal. They somehow got away with it. I don't know what they're doing with Champions. Okay, they've done well with Pokopia, but I think that's because it was his own separate thing. But I don't want to be negative, Andy, but I just feel like they're not instilling a lot of confidence in me at the moment.
Andy.
Good old Andy's. I think that's
I think that's the worry, right? I think you've got those concerns, and that's where the issue lies. Like Costa said, I think there needs to be communication.
Like we're not trying to justify oh, it's fine because of X. We're just trying to say it shouldn't be like this.
I'd rather them come out and say, look, we're not sure when we want to release it yet. At least we know. You know, as frustrating as it would be, like I'm a big fan of communication. Like if you can't do something, just tell me. Like ambiguity just leads to so much. It leads to negativity. Yeah. Okay, it can build hype sometimes, which is maybe they're hoping they can, but at this point, I think they're just annoying people. You know, just all it takes is one post, and everyone will be like, okay, fair enough. They might have a legitimate reason, but we don't know.
No,
transparency would just help.
We don't.
And I think they were in they probably felt pressured on Pokemon Day to have a release date. I think everyone was expecting that. But again, you know, they could have had they probably don't want the negativity from an announcement where they come out and say, look, we are trying to get this out as quick as possible, but it is taking a bit longer because we want to make sure that it's fine before it drops. Like most people, I think, would be pretty understanding of that. But for some reason, I don't know. And most companies, I don't think, want to go down that route of being like, it's taken us longer to do it than what we originally planned. But I think they were in a safe place where they just said 2026. So they had the whole year, technically, up until, well, they didn't because they announced
They
that
said
it was going to
Worlds.
be a Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that didn't help really.
I genuinely think it's probably the case of, so at least in game dev, what tends to happen is you've got the directors, the people on top and all that are like, okay, well, we need this by X date because this makes sense from a marketing point of view, from production point of view, with the resources and the budget, and we don't want to go past that point where we have to pay for more. So whatever you guys do, make sure you do it by that date where you start submitting for release and whatever stuff. What it feels like is a similar situation where that's happened. They've gone through some sort of, I don't know, compliancy testing and in order to try to get the final build that they can release. And it's come out that either it's like one big bug or multiple major bugs that are just keeping this back from releasing. And they're like, listen, we can't afford to do it. Mr. Director or Miss Director person, please listen. This cannot be shipped right now. And them saying, well, you're going to try to make it ship because that's it. That's your job. And now we're coming to the point where they had to, I genuinely feel, and I know we've spoken about it before, but this isn't probably the first time it's been pushed back in terms of the release date.
No.
It's definitely had a delayed, in my opinion, based off of how things have been playing out. And the fact that there's so much uncertainty now just means that they were on the threshold of pushing it back, maybe even until July or August. And they're like, no, we can't afford to do that. We need to ship it. It's part of the roadmap that we've got with the projects, and we've just got to release it. And that's why they're like, just say April. Don't say when. Just say April, and we will try to make it work. But then again, I feel like it might get delayed, and that's why we haven't heard it. I feel like it's going to get pushed to May or June because we haven't heard anything. Like, that's my concern and belief.
Again, people wouldn't get annoyed if they just come out and said, we want to get it right. And, we just can't release it now in its current state.
Delivering that, isn't there?
But they've got a certain standard that, or code or principle that they, begrudgingly for us have been following in terms of we're going to keep details low. We'll let you know when there's something there. And they've let us know there's something there, but they haven't let us know if it's fully there. And that's where we're having issues because we're like, give us some certainty, please. And they're refusing to do it because they're either being too proud, too stubborn, or I don't know. They're trying to make it work.
That's the answer.
I don't know.
That is the answer.
Each to their own.
Should we wrap it up? Because I feel like we could sit here and moan about champions for ages.
We just won it, please.
We just want it. Hopefully, we
comes from a good place.
In the next week, hopefully we do. It does come from a good place, and I think it's just a little bit frustrating. I think, for me, it doesn't make any difference. And when I think about the player base, then like everyone that's wanting to play these tournaments and is left just not knowing it just.
Well, it's the legacy fans. It's the legacy fans that get hurt, right?
It just bugs me because it's those players that have put the commitment into this season, last season, season before, however many seasons.
Well, those are the players that mean the game exists. They would have never made a solo game if it didn't continue to grow like a competitive game, would they? So,
well, there is that, and I just feel for those players that are kind of being like hung out to dry at the minute and not really knowing what's going on. So, I think there needs to be an announcement. Either they make a decision and just say we're just going to do it on Regulation F because we don't know, and then at least everyone knows, right?
Yeah.
Or you make the others, and this is probably why we haven't had it, because they haven't made a decision, because they're probably being told, look, we should know the date next week so then we can make a decision. So if that's what they're being fed, they're probably being like, oh, well, we'll hang on a little bit longer for that little bit of information. But again, this is all just like hypotheticals and context.
We have no info, mate.
You get nothing.
No.
Which is, again, frustrating. But like I say, not to dwell on it. Hopefully, we get something in the next week. Hopefully, more concrete news. Hopefully, some more info about it, because you feel like we should be getting more information about the games every week until the release. So hopefully, we do. And yeah, we'll go on from there. Mr. Speaker, what is next? Have we got anything else we're talking about this evening?
Well, we just got a final point that Fire Red Leaf Green is still going strong,
Still going
hard,
strong.
right? Even with Pokopia's release, which is pretty impressive. But understandably, there's going to be less buzz around Fire Red Leaf Green because of how much of an explosive appearance Pokopia has had on the games industry as a whole. Even people at work are telling me, "Oh, I don't play Pokemon, but I tried Pokopia and it's actually really good." And then someone else left a message saying it's still really good since the release day when I asked them. And I'm like, okay, cool, good to know. It's like Fire Red Leaf Green. Oh yeah, I have that on the back burner. It's like, oh, cool, nice. But no, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to go off of. I think just today's pod episode has just been predominantly Pokopia champions. Yeah, like Fire Red Leaf Green. I guess, do you guys have any points to go over? Because I mean,
it's still going strong by all accounts. I've not had much time to play over the last week, which has been a shame. I do want to jump back into it and get on that again, but Pokopia has kind of come in like this wave and just washed me away from that at the minute, which has been a little bit not sad, because I've been enjoying my time in Pokopia, but I was really enjoying my time in Fire Red and Leaf Green. So
washing you away like a Kyogre from Texas.
Yeah, Texan Kyogre.
Yeah. Any other thoughts from yourself, Scott? Have you been seeing any more rave and hustle around Fire Red Leaf Green?
Not really. Just I know friends are still enjoying it. Yeah, that's it. Really, it's not as exciting as Pokopia.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to be able to live up to what Pokopia is doing at the moment because of. I'm sure it's going to be breaking records. It already probably has, to be fair. But yeah, it's going to keep on going, and we will also make sure to try to get it going from our side. Obviously, Lee's been going ahead and diving in on all the action. So if you want to check out any guides and stuff, I'm sure you can go ahead and check out yours truly in terms of tips and tricks. But yeah, I think that's probably, just saying the truth, my friend. I think that's a point for us to essentially wrap it up for this episode. So quick note as well. I know that a couple of you lovely folks did leave us some good options in terms of names and branding stuff. So we are still actively looking into that. We are greatly appreciative of it. And either by this episode when it releases or next episode, which is more realistic, we will have come to a decision. So stay tuned, as we will be unveiling the new fanciful name we've got. But that's been myself, Costa, Lee, and of course, Scott. So thank you all for the love and support. We will be getting a Discord server going at some point soon. So make sure to be checking out all the little deets and infos we will be leaving on our upload. So with that being said, thank you very much all, and have a lovely week. Take care.
Bye.
Nice. Bye.